Certainly proud to get a win. Really proud of our team. Maybe as team of winners I've been a part of in a while. And just special teams, defense, offense, everybody making some plays that we had to do. I guess I knew it would be a really good team. The game went kind of like I thought it would go. I knew it was going to be one of those kinds of games. You never know how the yards go and the big plays go. But I knew the strength of their football team was clearly up front on both sides of the ball. And there's times that was obvious we didn't do a very good job of blocking or getting off blocks here at times during the game. But man, I thought we won the fourth quarter. I think the fourth quarter just completely changed. You could see the ability for us to push, the defense be getting after those guys, getting after the passer. Ian Williams, just look at so many guys made plays. Ian, I've said he's the best in the country, and he is. And just trust in him. Devin Hester, big time kickoff return. And I told some people I think to see Jaquan Smith get that ball. It was 3rd and 3. We knew if we got 3 yards, it was game's over. If not, we we're gonna have to either go forward or kick a field goal or do something. And guy had played 21, 22 months, and for him to come back from the just devastating injury he had. Do that. He gave us a little spark there during the game. So really proud of the team.
Coach, these are wonderful information sources, but they don't have guts on there. And I thought that's about as gutsy in fourth quarter as you can see. And as you already mentioned, Jaquan kind of put the cherry on top.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, I told our team, I just think, I don't know, I watched them today and they were who I thought they were. I thought they were going to be a tough group that was going to hang in there. We've got some ability. We've got to now we're nowhere near where we got to be. But I'm just really proud of how they hung in there and played. We stayed positive. I thought the sideline was that way the whole day, just in all areas, and just kept making enough plays to give ourselves a chance. And got some little ability and all that. That'll go a long way. So I'm really proud of our guys. I thought we got to clean some stuff up. Just had a couple of big penalties. I thought we were really in pretty good shape in coverage a couple of times. We maybe panicked a little bit. The drive for the half. We had already told Chris Roper. I said, I want to go 17-7. I'm assuming he was going to make a kick. And I think we had a 3rd and 3, and we just got beat on the block. We got a good play we liked, and just got beat on the block and they hit the ball. So that was a huge play in the game. And in the 3rd quarter, we really had a pretty good drive, didn't get anything out of it, and then they just got after us. They get the PI, the deep ball. But again, for our guys just kind of hanging there, nobody panicked. And got some field goals, and again, it was going to be that kind of game.
Taylor, first game obviously was a big one. Just talk about what was the communication like on the safety blitz there? Is that an instinct or something you're seeing, or are you communicating with them? What made that play call work?
Also Coach Vaughn, just having the trust to make that play call for us. He kind of leaves it in our hands to look at the defense, what the offense is giving us, and just make that play. So he made the call, so we got to go make the play. That's all it was. Great play call.
Coach, in this particular game, like it was saying, it was about guts. What would you say was the biggest thing coming into the second quarter that you needed to get your team to realize in order to get this victory?
Well, we're still we're a relatively experienced group, but we're still a young group. Chase Gregor really, Chase redshirted last year. I'm sure he got in the game at some point in time. We're really counting on him being the starter there. And Jade couldn't go. Ty Coster and Notes couldn't go. And we had a couple other guys that didn't go. But it's just a matter, just do what you've been coached to do. A little bit of execution. We harped on the execution aspect of it. And I just thought we were a little firmer on blocks, as the game went on. We did a better job of getting off blocks. I think the thing that really was, which we knew, we were expecting it. I knew the quarterback was going to make some plays with his feet, and he And I think the other thing they did, Washington, they decided they're just gonna match protect and throw some one-on-one routes. And, not a bad way to go. Sometimes you get a couple of PIs. Whether you agree with all of them or not, I don't know. But, they ended up being pretty big. They called for one. I thought we had a chance to maybe get a couple of deep balls. I think that's something we'll continue to get better. I just think we have the ability to stretch the field with our guys. But I just, again, this, coaching and first time you've really played, this team has, and you just hope you'll be that much better next week because I think we came out pretty healthy. I think we'll pick up a couple guys here in the next week or two. Just can we keep improving?
Trey, I'm not sure the stats will bear this out, but it looked as if you became more self-assured as the game went along. Like in the first half, particularly in the second quarter, there were times where it was a pretty small opening, looked like you didn't get burned for it, but forced the ball in, and you seemed to have receivers who were more open and more touch and finding them in the second half. You looked like you got more and more confident.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think as the game goes on, you get a little more comfortable. We start getting have some situational play calls. We kind of know what they're in to get some guys more open. But I think an emphasis this entire offseason in my development was, got to quit turning the ball over. So I think that, throughout the game, and throughout preparation and all of this offseason, that's been an emphasis that we've really focused on. So, really been trying to, take what the defense has given me and, make open throws when they're there and, trying to not force the ball as much. I think that we did a little bit better job of that. Obviously, there's always, room to improve on that. You said I didn't get burned for it, and that's true. Obviously, we'll see on film tomorrow that there are some things that we have to clean up that we can still make these big plays on offense that were there and we didn't hit them today.
Evan, sorry, I'm reading news. I'm not sure. Just being a true freshman and being your first game, how was the whole? I mean, were you nervous? Can you kind of just take us through your day and it just looked like a lot of those quick hitters really paid off and helped loosen things up for the ground game. I thought the fourth quarter, was able to run the ball a little bit better because of some of the things you had done all day.
Going into the game and before the game and warm-ups, I was a little nervous, because I'm a freshman, first college game. But as I went on in the game, I got more comfortable, and just when the ball came, I just made the plays that I know I can make. So just what I normally do. So.
Josh, you guys, as the defensive line, as a collective, you really started to get sort of hit your stride in the fourth quarter. You had the play, I think, on the pitch to the back, and then I felt like Malachi Dobbins was big. I know you doesn't show up on the stat sheet how much pressure, but they weren't able to account for a lot of those guys up front late in the game. Can you just talk about how you guys got so strong in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think it goes back to Coach Vaughn and the preparation he put in with showing a bunch of different looks at the offense and just confusing the offensive line if we're blitzing, if we're not blitzing, and then that frees up for us like one-on-ones, and then watching film and seeing their formation and just anticipating what's coming.
Coach and Josh, looked like in the fourth quarter that we had the edge as far as strength, stamina, whatever. It looked like they got a little tired and we kind of took advantage of it, especially our defensive line.
Well, I thought that too. It's funny, to have as cool of an August as we've had. I've been a little concerned about that. It was a little warm today, a little warmer than maybe what we've had some. But I thought in the fourth, we didn't protect very well ourselves offensively early in the game. I thought our protection got better. And again, a little bit towards our defense, they were, like I said, they decided they were going to match protect through one-on-one routes, which makes it tough because they always got you outnumbered. But I thought Josh and Malachi in the fourth quarter were knocked back, and we got several holding calls, which probably should have got a few more. But man, they disrupted everything. So I just thought knock back, you know, and we just played better team defense. You know, we're getting pressure. I know Taylor needs those guys appreciate it. We're getting a little more pressure back there, and you know, we're going to play some man, and we're going to mix it up on people. But I thought that was huge, and I, you know, give Joe Novataski credit for that. You know, I just think that what our guys have done, you know, all year, but largely this past summer, you know, and then the way they worked in August. Again, I think it clearly paid off for us in the fourth quarter. I thought even offensively ran the ball better. You know, still working there in progress. Guys still eliminate some negative plays. First games are a little different. They changed up some stuff. We changed up some stuff, and it's making some adjustments. And again, I knew that was clearly the strength of their football team with the guys up front on both sides of the ball.
As noted preseason by you, and this was a game where I'm sure you would have liked to run the ball better, but the fourth quarter was demonstration of the fact that it loosened up and you found room, and it just showed how running and passing complement each other when both of them are working. And, you know, it may not have been world beating yet, but it got better.
Well, it did, and you know, Trey made a couple good plays with his feet. You know, and I think a little bit, if you go back there, Jay Carney had played almost 2 years playing. Gavin's still a young guy playing tailback. You know, he was a quarterback 2 years ago, and I think he's getting better and better. C.J. Nettles got in there a few times. First time he's ever been in the game. He's like Evan, and again, I just think those guys are going to continue to get better if we just, you know, stay the course. You know, got to be our own biggest critic, and I just told him I think next week will be a bigger challenge for us, particularly mentally, just preparation, and you know, just how do you handle stuff? Can you stay humble? Can you just go back to work and again be your biggest critic? And if we do those things, we got a chance to get better.
Coach, with this being said, last year you had a lot of players that were injured and hurt, and they was able to get experience. Do you think that really paid off today? Because I saw a lot of changing out, and it just seemed like no one ever missed a beat whenever the next group went in.
Yeah, I think no doubt there's some of that. There were some guys we redshirted. We still tried to use the 4-game rule a year ago, you know, to keep those guys eligibility. And I mean, look at you know, a number of guys, you know, up front defensively, and just really across our football team. So, and I like this group. I just like the way they work. I like, you know, they like being together, and they're locked in. We don't see that. You know, I think we really got a chance to have a really good team. You know, if we'll keep doing things we have to do.
All right, guys, thank you.
All right, thank you guys.